Selling on Facebook, 20 ideas, tips, and strategies that work. Find out why Facebook Marketplace and local Facebook selling groups are outdoing eBay as the place to earn cash, auctioning unwanted stuff in your area. Use Facebook's quintuple advantage: no fees, instant sales, no shipping cost, low risk, and nearby customers to declutter and earn hundreds or thousands of dollars in the process. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing marvelous. I'm doing fantastic, and if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Today I want to talk to you about 20 ideas, tips, and strategies that work when it comes to selling on Facebook. Number one, specialize in high turnover items. I'm talking about popular goods, right? You have things like Wii's, spare TVs, right? Things that a lot of people want. You want to think about bulky or breakable items, kids stuff, the rarer items, right? So if you have, niche wares such as high-end art or spare headlights for an Aston Martin, these are things that you can sell out to. You can also sell grown-up clothing, high-value items, right? Now, remember though, it's very important that you want to specialize on a few things, but make sure those few things are high turnovers. You can sell them quickly. You don't want, the last thing you want is to have stuff that sits around for 2, 3, 4 weeks, right? So research your niche, find out what works, and find out what sells fastest. Number two, seek specialist selling groups, but be careful when selling remotely. Now, you want to focus in your area. You want to see exactly, let's say for instance you're selling children clothing. Research in your local area what kind of groups specialize in those items and sign up for them. Okay, you also want to sign up for groups that are not very far, which is why I emphasize the word local here. The last thing you want is to drive 200 miles to someplace or even incur shipping cost. All right, you don't want that. Number three, and I think I already said that, find the top selling groups near you. Now here, I'm not talking about just groups that specialize in your niche. You want to generalize. Just broadly speaking, you want to find out the groups that are very, very popular in your niche, in your area rather. Whether they cater to your potential customers or not, you just want to find out where they are, right? To get started, you can search for your area or zip code or postcode in the main search box on Facebook, and you can put words like selling, sale, or buy. All right. And remember though, don't sell, again, I'm trying to make sure here that you don't want to sell beyond your local area. There are consequences when it comes to shipping costs. There are consequences when it comes to safety. There are consequences when it comes to trustworthiness, credibility, if you will. So this should be a big no-no. So number four, properly post an ad on the right Facebook group. It's very important that when it comes to Facebook, there are so many groups, right? There are many selling groups. You want to narrow down. First, you want to start with your zip code, with your area, and then you want to look for your niche, and then you want to find the most popular groups in your niche. The idea is you want to cross posts. You can do that, but find one or two groups that are very relevant to your products, to your items, and post in those and try to see how it works. Post in those for 1 or 2 days and just constantly change, constantly adjust the post, see how people respond, whatever. All right. Number five, use Facebook Marketplace to cross-sell items by location. Now remember that Facebook has another classified ad service called Facebook Marketplace, and that's very suitable. It has grown tremendously in the last 3 years. So you can cross-sell, you can post the same item in a Facebook group and also Facebook Marketplace. Now, to post something on Facebook Marketplace is very easy. You want to click the Marketplace icon. You want to tap sell or sell something button. You can enter an item title, description, and price. You can confirm your location. Normally, Facebook already has it, but remember, it's only a rough location. Facebook will not reveal your exact address here. You want to select the category of item. So buyers can also filter listing by this. So the bottom line here is that if you are able to post in two separate places, in groups and a marketplace, you are increasing the likelihood of selling your item very fast. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still having our conversation about selling on Facebook, and I'm giving you today 20 ideas, tips, and strategies that work. If you like the clarity and quality of the content so far, please smash that like button, turn on the notification bell, also subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so, comment below, and share. Number 6, prioritize cash payments to avoid scam. It's very important. You know, the world is big. Facebook is a big marketplace. You want to prioritize cash. Now, don't go with PayPal or bank transfer or check, because this is really the source. You are opening a can of worms here. You might have a lot of scams. If you go through PayPal, there is something called a chargeback scam, right? So people might claim that the transaction was unauthorized, and the card issuer will reverse the transaction that has already cleared. So you don't want that. You don't want to go through Western Union, or you don't want to go through bank transfer. Get cash, which is why originally, earlier I was telling you to focus on local when selling to local people, to people in the neighborhood, right? Number 7, control your Facebook privacy settings. Now remember that if you're communicating with strangers, it's a great time to check your Facebook privacy settings, right? Make sure, now, first thing is make sure only friends can see your stuff, right? So you want to click the arrow in the top right corner of your profile, and then go to settings, then privacy, and then where it says who can see my stuff, just select friends, right? So while you're in there, click the padlock and use Facebook's privacy checkup tools as well, right? So this will let you check the audience of your post and adjust if needed. This is important. Number 8, set a reasonable price and allow room for haggling, right? The thing here is that you want to be reasonable. Facebook is a big place. You're going to have a lot of people interested in your products, but don't be too greedy here, right? Try to build a customer base, right? You're not getting rich on one transaction. You're getting rich over time. And remember, the idea here is not to get rich or make a profit. The idea here is to declutter, is to get rid of things that you're not using anymore and try to make some extra cash on the side. So just set a reasonable price. Number 9, upload quality snaps to show buyers exactly what they're getting, right? It's very important that the picture is in high resolution, it's clear enough, it shows the item you're trying to sell from different angles, right? Now, if you got lots of junk to dump, you can list them in bulk. Remember that on Facebook Marketplace, you can take photos as part of the listing process, right? You don't have to invest in any sort of sophisticated phone, a sophisticated camera, right? You can use your phone and just take a great snap. All right. So if you're selling in a group, you can create an album for selling photos and post it to the group, right? All you got to do is you want to click on add photo videos and create photo albums. Then you upload the photos you want. You can make the album public and copy and paste the link to the group. All right. So what I'm trying to say here is that you have the album on your personal Facebook profile. You make that album public and you just take the link of that album and you post it in the group. Number 10, you want to follow group etiquette to the letter. Now, it's very important when you join a group to always comply with the rules of the group, right? It's very annoying sometimes when you have people who join groups and they just totally run afoul of the group etiquette, of the group rules. They don't really care, and this is not interesting. This is not courteous. So, if the admins is a stickler for the rules, make sure that you follow their rules, because they will kick you out for an infraction. All right, so it's very important, and they're not right now as of the date of this show. They're not, the rules on Facebook Marketplace are not as strict as the rules that you might find in some groups. However, Facebook is very, very, very aware and very stingy, if you will. They're very aware of their community guidelines and want to make sure that users comply with those community guidelines. So the bottom line here is just comply, right? Try to be as professional as possible. Your goal is not to create any mayhem. Your goal is just to sell whatever products or service that you have. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're having a conversation today about 20 tips, ideas, and strategies that work when it comes to selling on Facebook. Number 11, close the deal through private message. Right? You don't want people to know about the price, about the person who finally bought it. You don't want to disclose that information, right? So once you have an interested buyer, just have the conversation via private message and haggle over the price and everything else privately. Number 12, you want to check your secret message request folder. Now, when it comes to Facebook, you have your regular messages and you have a message request folder. Now, Facebook has implemented that folder several years ago to combat spam, right? The thing here is that unfortunately, sometimes useful messages end up there too. So you want to constantly check your message request folder to see what's in there. You might have an email from someone who is interested in your products, and so it's important to constantly check that. Number 13, one thing you want to do also is to declutter your news feed to avoid gazillions of spammy sales, right? So the way it works is that whenever you join a group on Facebook, the default settings is that you get all the info from the group in your news feed. And if you sign up for too many groups, chances are your news feed will be really jammed. And you don't want that, right? The last thing you want is to have gazillions of information pieces and not knowing what's important and what's important and what's not important. So try to leave as many groups as possible, and also trying to find a way to declutter your newsfeed and you could do this through the settings. In Facebook settings, you can specify which news to allow in your newsfeed and which news you want to check yourself. Number 14, don't use your regular cell phone for transactions. We've had a great show about how to use. We had a show about the situations where you need a secondary phone number. And this is one of those. When selling on Facebook, you want to get either a disposable phone number, right? Or you want to have a phone with the 2 SIMs. The idea here is you want to separate your personal phone number, the one that your loved one knows, your partner, your children, your cousins, your colleagues, your very close friends. You want to separate the number they have, the number they know, from the number you use for transactions online. And obviously this is for privacy reasons. This is for safety reasons, right? Because the last thing you want is for a stranger to call you at 3 a.m. asking about the product you've posted on Facebook Marketplace. Nobody wants that. So use a disposable phone number or a different SIM card. Number 15, you want to find waiting buyers quickly by searching for wanted items. This is great. This is a reverse engineering process here, which means if you're trying to sell, first find out what buyers are willing to buy, right? And you can do so by searching for wanted items. Facebook allows people, the platform allows people to post wanted ads, right? So you want to search that group first. That way, you know exactly what people have. Now, as of the date of this show, Facebook Marketplace doesn't have this function yet, but I'm sure they will certainly have it very soon. So by doing that, you can zero in on people who might be interested in the stuff you're trying to sell. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you're enjoying the conversation so far. We are enjoying it. And please, if you haven't done so, subscribe to this channel. We provide this kind of quality and clarity when having our shows. We do this every single day, rain or shine. You can share, you can like, you can comment below. We really appreciate it. Number 16, set a deadline for deal closing, right? You want to give people 24 hours to buy or less. If it's a hot item, you want to give people 12 to 18 hours. The bottom line here is you want to create some kind of emergency so that people know, urgency rather, so people know this is a hot item. Because the last thing you want is you don't want people to show interest and you don't hear from them, and then you lose a sale because somebody who's really interested and is willing to buy has been put off because of the delay. So if someone expresses interest, let them know upfront, listen, this deal is valid for 24 hours. If I don't hear from you within 24 hours, I will sell the deal I will sell the stuff to somebody else. Number 17, be careful, and you want to apply basic safety rules. Now, there are 3 safety rules, basic safety rules when it comes to Facebook selling: your phone number, your pickup location, and the payments. That's what I call the 3 P's when it comes to Facebook Marketplace: your phone number, the pickup location, and the payments. Now, remember that Facebook is a relatively safe place, so incidents are very rare, but sometimes things happen. So if someone's message or profile looks dodgy, you want to trust your instinct. You want to walk away ASAP, right? I think we recommend that if you have smaller goods, you always want to do the exchange in a public place, in a busy public place. You can do this outside the local police station. You can do this at a shopping mall. You can do this at a restaurant. Whatever it is, you can do this in a sports event, at a concert, before the concert starts. The bottom line here is that you want to end up somewhere where it's only 2 people, you and the potential buyer, right? Don't do this. Number 18, remember there could be tax implications when selling. Now, we're not providing tax advice in this show. You might want to double check with a CPA or a tax accountant if you know someone. If what you're selling, if the price tag is very low, less than $1,000, normally there shouldn't be any tax implications. But again, the tax laws are very sort of confusing when it comes to reselling or private, or sales transactions between private individuals. You might want to double check the IRS website, but I just wanted to mention that you want to make sure there are no tax implications. If there are, then you have to do the right thing, which is report the sales. If you made a profit, report the profits and pay taxes on the profits, on the income. It's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to tax compliance. Number 19 rather, give stuff away whenever possible. Now, of course, I know this show is about selling on Facebook, but you know what? Sometimes if you can't sell it at the price you want, or you don't think the price matters that much, or money doesn't matter to you that much, you can give the stuff away, right? So, if an item doesn't move fast, it's not just about selling. You may actually also find new potential customers for future products in the process. And you can also grab something back that you want. So the idea here is to give and take, all right? So think about that as well. When selling on Facebook, sometimes you can give away stuff to be able to attract future customers for other items you might want to sell. Number 20, and that's very, very important. Please be courteous to potential customers. Respect them. You want to sell as you would like to be sold to. Remember, it's all about karma here, right? So you want to be very, very careful. You want to be as clear as possible. You want to be honest in the transaction. Let the customer know what they're buying. If there is stuff, if there is some hidden stuff, some defects on the products, defects on the piece of furniture, or defects on the clothing, please let the customer know. It's all about building trust. All right. Now, Facebook transactions they don't entail legal obligations, right? It's all about a moral obligation here. All right. So respect potential customers. All right, folks. That was our conversation for today, and really appreciate it. I just want to quickly recap and give you the 20 ideas, tips, and strategies that work when it comes to selling on Facebook. Specialize in high turnover items. Seek specialist selling groups. Find top selling groups near you. Properly post an ad on the right Facebook group. Use Facebook Marketplace to cross-sell items by location. Prioritize cash payments to avoid scams. Control your Facebook privacy settings. Set a reasonable price. Upload quality pictures. Follow group etiquette to the letter. Close the deal via private message. Check your secret message request folder. Declutter your newsfeed to avoid gazillions of spammy sales. Don't use your regular cell phone for transactions. Find waiting buyers quickly by searching for wanted items. Set a deadline for deal closing. Be careful and apply basic safety rules. Remember, there could be tax implications when selling. Give stuff away whenever possible. And last but not least, respect potential customers. Sell as you would like to be sold to. I'll see you another time. Thank you so much for your attention. Remember, until then, stay marvelous.